and you don't make them, or you're just bad or unlucky, or you're having a bad day. No, this was a field goal from like 60 yards.
60,000 yards.
No. It was a 60-yard field goal, and they said, Bill, I know you normally don't make them from this far out.
Right.
Nobody does, though. We're not expecting you to make it.
Nobody's ever made it this far.
Nobody's ever made it. But if you can just try. Just try to kick it through. And he swung his foot as hard as he could. He tried to get it connected.
And as his foot was coming through,
he saw that the laces
laces out. Oh. Split second before his foot made contact. There was no stopping, no changing, no nothing. And in his mind, he's screaming, "No!" Laces out.
Yeah.
Laces out.
But he said, "You know what? I gotta swing my foot at it anyway."
Shanked it wide right.
It didn't even pass the 50-yard line. It didn't even get past midfield. It hit the coach right in the face.
And then Carson Palmer went up to him and said, "Hey, you want a job?"
Oh, wow. Carson Palmer?
Yeah, the Bengals are hiring.
Oh, wow. Carson Palmer's at Dalton. Andy Dalton. Well, no, Carson Palmer's in Arizona.
I know, because he thought it'd be funny if he went to the Bengals.
Wow.
He said, "Hey, that Andy Dalton's doing a bang-up job. Why don't you be
he
the
was
kicker?
Injured.
Why don't you be the kicker?"
Wow. I don't even know where to begin.
God bless the Bengals. Okay, so anyways, Trump's manager and Trump's team had started to roll out some breaking news about Fox.
Okay.
In the Fox industry, if you will.
The news industrial complex?
The giant complex that it is.
Okay.
There is something going around online, and one of our followers, I love you to death, and please, if you find something that seems so outlandish, go ahead and send it to us right away.
We will report it as fact no matter what.
No, we'll get Carrie to take a look at it. He's great at vetting these pictures out and videos.
Okay.
You can call them fake. There's a picture circulating with Megyn Kelly in between.
I might be able to decide whether this is fake or not right now.
The prince, Saudi Arabia's prince, and his wife on her other side. So she's flanked by
Megyn Kelly.
By Saudi prince and the Saudi's wife.
Okay.
And it really was a Saudi prince and his wife, and she did have the screen door, the black screen covering on. So she was. You don't know if that was his wife. Could be his
brother.
Absolutely. Could be anybody. And so Megyn Kelly's in the middle, and it said Fox News supports Saudi Arabia and oil and this and that.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought Saudi Arabia supports Fox News by dumping all kinds of money on them.
Okay.
Possibly.
Come to find out, by Snoops.com, the photo is photoshopped.
Okay.
Okay, that's first and foremost. Secondly, Snoops tried to...
Is it Snopes?
Snopes or Snoops? Snopes.
Snopes.
P-E-S.
Yeah, I think it's Snopes. Yeah.
I kind of like Snoops because they do snoop around.
Maybe it is. Is there two O's in it?
Yeah.
There is two O's?
Is there two? No, it's one O.
Okay,
it's only one
Snopes.
O. Okay. So, the second...
But I do like Snoops better because of that. For that reason. Yes.
They try to skirt the issue. Saudi is a minor player in holding shares.
Okay.
However,
when you're a trillionaire like some of the Saudis are,
you got money everywhere.
You're gonna diversify. You're gonna own stocks in a lot of companies. I'm sure Fox is one of them.
However,
and they're smart, so they're not gonna own stock in MSNBC because that is a charity case.
However, Fox's role via its founder Rupert Murdoch is pushing an open borders agenda. The Trump campaign is a direct threat to Murdoch's effort to open America's borders.
Now, what? Somebody's got to give
this
me a
motive. There's
got to be a motive.
This is reported by Breitbart.
What's the motive?
Well concealed from virtually all reporting on Fox's treatment of Trump is the fact that lobbying firms in the country are the partnership for a new American economy.
They think that open borders is going to improve the economy?
Rupert Murdoch is a huge, I think, he's a major contributor to the Partnership for New American Economy. This is reported by Julia Hahn. And this information was put out there by the Trump campaign, and you know what? Nobody has refuted it. Nobody.
I don't get it. What's the motive for them wanting to support an open borders policy? Is it because they got large businesses whose profits depend on illegal immigration labor?
Well,
it just doesn't make any sense.
For the same reason that Walmart supports minimum wage, supports high insurance rates, supports all kinds of
Obamacare.
Yeah, Walmart supported Obamacare, yet Walmart is supposed to be founded. The founders are Christian and conservative, yet
liberals hate Walmart. In fact, Walmart is like the poster child of conservatism in their mind.
Right.
But why would they support Obamacare? Because they know
they can afford it.
Their
small mom and pop shops can't.
Right. So they can put the small mom
now
and pop
for Fox News to be down with open borders
doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, Rupert Murdoch isn't necessarily the most conservative individual in the world, and maybe just playing ball on that team. Look at the GOP establishment and the DNC. Both of them want open borders. Nobody wants to close the borders but Americans. The only people who want to close the borders are the Americans that live on the ground near the border.
Anywhere in the country.
Right. So, Marco Rubio backpedaled his open borders thing.
His gang of it's such a shame because that
I didn't mean to jump off to Marco Rubio, but
that mistake that Marco Rubio did with the Gang of Eight has completely torpedoed his entire career. And you know what? When I first heard about the Gang of Eight thing, when it first came out, when they opened up the smoke-filled room and all the cigars were put out
by all those white old cigar-smoking liberals,
right? When all the cigars were put out and they announced what they had all decided, the Gang of Eight, I was so upset at Marco Rubio that I secretly prayed that this would happen to him, that it would completely end his career. Now that it has, the whole thing is just a sad sight to behold.
The problem with Rubio and the Gang of Eight is that the GOP establishment is okay with it.
Oh, yeah. Right. That's really scary.
Open borders.
Right.
So why would Rupert Murdoch not be on board with that? I personally believe he is connected with the GOP establishment, connected with the DNC, all their stuff. And I got a sound clip of Rush talking about the connection of all the media, the DNC and the RNC. Whenever you're ready for that, I got that to roll out. It is amazing, this intertangled web of money, deceit, lies, and
corruption. I feel like you're turning into Glenn Beck with the blackboard. Back when he was on Fox News at 5 o'clock.
It's racist. That's why he got fired.
A whiteboard. Because he used the blackboard?
Right, he got fired for a blackboard.
Oh, he should have used the dry erase markers.
No, he got ridiculous with it. No, he did. He definitely did. But anyways, it just stinks to high heavens. This whole, what news outlet would allow themselves to be drugged through the mud like this unless there was a guaranteed agenda and a promise note on the back end from somebody.
Right. Well, we know that the big businesses that are generally the target of the left support open borders because they get cheap labor.
Right. Well, and the Democrats use them because they're new voters.
Yes.
Fresh exactly new voters. And in California, illegals can vote now.
So that it leaves only American voters who are like, who's going to close the borders? And all they can hope for is that somebody will come out and say, I'll do it. And then as soon as they get to Washington, they're like, oh, that's why you guys aren't closing the border. Well, I better get on board. Or else I'm going to be left out.
There is one thing that Glenn Beck has said in the past that I'm on board with. It's a little creepy, but I'm on board with. He would approach a candidate, somebody that he was running, and decide whether, he'd vote for them or not. He'd ask him, hey, how's your soul? Where's your soul at? You got your soul right?
I don't know how to answer that.
I'd
be like, wait a minute. I forgot. You always ask this to everybody, and I forgot.
What's the right answer?
It's good. It's good.
It's real good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I even thought about it myself. I mean, we all have, as human beings, we're all flawed. We all sin. That's just what it is. And as Christians, we know we have a different path. However, the evils that is politics, the evils that are the lawyers, the evils that are the big money controllers, they will find your addiction. They will find your weakness.
your vice.
Your vice, they'll find it. And there was one guy that went to Capitol Hill that he told the story about, and he said, "Is your soul right?" And the guy said, "Oh, yeah, it's right as rain." And Glenn's like, "Yeah, I questioned that. Didn't seem very confident." Lo and behold, he had a sex addiction. And they hooked him up with people other than his wife.
Uh-oh.
And he had to roll out.
Because that's what they'll do once they trap you. Then they got you. They can make you do whatever you want. It's blackmail. They literally blackmail you. Okay.
Yeah, so this all leads up to the control factor and the system that's in place. If they know that they can pick the president and make us all feel like and think that we did it, how would you, honestly, how would you not? And to be truthful with you, because I love this country so much and I know so much that is right, if I had the ability, I can't tell you I wouldn't do it. If I had the ability and the position to help steer this country in the right direction and let the people think they did it, I can't tell you I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Because I know that the left is doing it.
They're steering it in the
wrong direction.
Right.
Correct.
You said they're doing it. I'm like, they're steering it in the right direction?
No.
Maybe the left direction.
Oh. So let me play this clip from Rush, and this will give you a little bit more insight to what I'm talking about.
The conventional wisdom is that Trump is scum, that Trump is a reprobate, that Trump is dangerous, that Trump is obscene, Trump's insane, Trump's a lunatic, Trump's dangerous, Trump's got to go. Why join that phrase? Why join that crowd? We never fall in with conventional wisdom here. I want to look at this in a little different way, as I'm wont to do. And I want to look at the politics of this. And I want to remind you, late last week, middle part of last week and into late last week, I started what I intended to be a pretty in-depth discussion of how it is that Donald Trump owns the media. And I made the point to you last week that that is the one factor that has upset everything else in this presidential campaign. Despite what you might think about the Republican Party being the opposition party to the Democrats, the Democrats being the opposition to the Republicans, inside the Beltway, the Washington establishment, the establishment is aligned and unified on a number of things, Republicans and Democrats alike, and one of those things on which they're aligned is that the drive-by media is an acceptable, co-equal branch of what they do. And they accept the media as, for lack of a better term, the great equalizer. The media is always the institution that makes or breaks people. If the media wants to make somebody, they can, and it's allowed. If the media wants to take somebody out, it's allowed, and they try and oftentimes get away with it. You do not hear the Republican Party condemning the media much. And the reason for this is that inside the Beltway, within the Washington establishment, the elite, the ruling class, whatever you want to call it, the media is a co-equal member. And members of the media are co-equal. And that fact, and the fact that Trump now owns the media, and this episode is just more proof of it, is one of the things that is the... phrase again. It's the one aspect that has everything else in this campaign turned upside down. The great equalizer, the media, the great leveler, the media, the institution relied on to keep things within the guardrails as the establishment wants it,